A good morning to you. Welcome back to K24 This Morning. We're having a very interesting discussion today, and it's all about getting you off your feet so that you can make something good for yourself as far as entrepreneurship is concerned, starting that amazing business. Whatever it is that you've been thinking about, whether it's transport, whether it's just your SME in the hood, what exactly is it that you need to take off? And that is why I have George Mbogo today to have that discussion, Beatrice Nduta as well, and Harrison Thuku. Karibuni tena sana.
Thank you very much.
First of all, let's just start with the fact that when you need to start a business, what is the first thing you need to think about? Because a lot of people would like to copy. For example, I see you're in the transport business and I think, you know what, I can also do it because you've been doing it. What is the first thing that should come to my mind when I just think of starting a business?
Thank you very much for viewership.
Karibu sana, George.
What I would want to say, even as I introduce myself, my name is George Mbogo. I run a company called Epic Business Tours, and we specialize in taking people, and especially business people, to international markets.
Right.
So come to your question about what is the first thing that actually you need to do when you are setting up a business.
Right.
In my opinion, I think it's a vision.
Yes.
And a strong passion for what you want to do. So I think even before we think about money and many other things.
But isn't that what we think about first? Money. I need money. I need to pay bills. You know, what happens if I lose my job today? Yeah. So the first thing that comes to my mind is the security, the fact that if I lose my job today, at least I'll have something to take care of my family.
Yes, but if you are to look at it critically, I think the first thing that you actually need to think about is what is it that you want to do?
All right.
And I think once you identify a need in society and try to get a solution for it, you may realize that it does not necessarily need money. So I think we can start from there and say that a great desire and the passion to do what you want to do is where you need to start from.
Beatrice, you worked with this gentleman as far as starting your own business is concerned.
Yes.
What is the, because to me you look like a mother, a family person, a wife, someone who wants to take care of society in her own space.
Correct.
Did you think of passion first of all?
Yeah, my name is Beatrix.
Right.
I am a business person.
Karibu tena sana.
Thank you so much for having me. Like what George said, I think the first thing before you start a business is start where you are with what you have.
Okay.
A lot of people may see capital as a hindrance or rather as the first thing that should come first. But I think capital should actually be the last thing. I met George of Epic Tours and we started together. He has helped me grow, I mean supplies business. So through his help, I know where I can source for goods, supplies, whether locally, whether internationally, and mostly internationally, whereby goods are cheaper. Learned how we can ship in the goods. And you see, those are things that people think are so hard to do. Yeah. So business is not as complicated.
Now that you've mentioned you know, internationally, because people in this country tunafikirianga tu hapa just hapa kwa mapua.
Yes.
I think of getting potatoes from Kinangop. Yes. I think of getting flowers from Naivasha.
Yes.
I think of getting, you know, maize from Uasin and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But you thought outside the box. Actually, you thought outside the country.
Yeah.
What is it that you supply?
I would say I supply anything that that I get LPOs.
Okay.
From stationery to cereals to uniforms.
Right.
Just about anything.
You don't limit yourself at
no,
all.
I don't limit
I'm a
myself to
specialist.
anything. No, I'm not specialized in anything because when you're a supplier, of course, the entities that you're supplying to are the ones who determine what they want. Right. So you cannot really dictate what you're going to supply, but you just be open-minded. Right. Ask for anything, I can supply it.
Harrison, karibu kwenye kipindi.
Thank you so much.
She's mentioning capital as though it is just a by the way. I don't know. You're a businessman yourself, an engineer, I understand. Don't you at one point think that capital is everything? Because how do you buy your equipment? How do you pay your staff if you have any? Like, pesa hapa, to me, it looks like money is everything. Because right now, ask any single person. They will tell you the reason why they do not have a business is pesa itatoka wapi. Yeah? I don't know. capital to you, is it mambo yote?
Thank you for having me.
Right.
Let me start by introducing myself again.
All right.
My name is Harrison Tuku, as you've mentioned.
Okay.
And I'm the founder and the sitting MD for STEMA Engineering.
All right.
Our core business is generators. We sell your power generators.
Okay.
Powered by Parkins from UK.
Nice.
And I've been busy for the last 11 years.
11?
11.
You've been selling generators for 11 years?
Absolutely. Same thing, January to December.
Haujauzia kila mtu mpaka akachoka. Si kila mtu akona generator by now. 11 years is a long time.
And we have a long way to go with this.
Okay.
And let me tell you, it didn't start there. Today, we have partnered with an international company.
All right.
To do business.
Okay.
But we started as a small service business.
Right.
And when you mention...
What is a small service business? Maybe for someone who is trying to understand.
Basically, when you talk about generators, they are huge.
Right.
Capital intensive. A startup cannot be able to even start talking about capital because they're expensive equipment.
Yeah.
You cannot be able to put together unless you come from a wealthy background.
Right.
Now, for a person like myself from a village, I had to start from the ground. I had to just offer what I could afford to offer.
Ulianza kuuza batteries ama?
I started servicing people's generators.
Okay.
You understand?
All right.
Because that was labor-based. It didn't need any capital. It just needed my experience and my expertise. So I asked myself, what is it I can do in that whole value chain that I can be able to do? The only thing I could do was knock on people's doors, tell them, hey, I'm an engineer, I can service this generator, and I have done it for X, Y, Z. Okay. And people would give me a chance to try it.
Right.
And I started,
and here we are.
Yeah.
Now we are talking about Parkins and the United Kingdom.
Absolutely.
George, all these gentlemen, the lady and the gentleman, of course, for someone who's at home right now and they're thinking, mimi kabiashara nilikuwa nafikiria is, you know, selling probably cushions, selling vases and maybe tables, and here we are talking about international. She's traveling all over the world bringing material. He's doing the same. And we are still not talking about the money part of it. How do you finance such a startup yourself? I mean, Epic Tours, you're doing all these tours in China and you know, East Asia and so on and so forth. How do you convince someone who has got absolutely nothing that, you know what, my brother, my sister, you can still start?
Maybe Dhuku did not tell you that our story with him began very long ago. Okay. During my university days, he was still my very good friend because we actually come from the same village. Okay. So I remember a time that there was a graduation at the university, and I told them that if we can have some tents in the graduation square, we can actually do things like tea, snacks and all that. And I actually give them the mandate. In fact, he tells me that was his first serious job that he got. Yes. Maybe he can tell us further about what happened. What happened at that level. And I think that's a story that I want us to also tell people who are actually beginning, that at their level, they were actually able to, with very minimal capital, we were actually able to pull out that event. Wow. And coincidentally trained. Selling to a university. And you know a university population? No, I was in the university myself. Okay. So I got a chance to have a stand in the field when there was a graduation. So we knew many people will come from the up country and they'll come very early in the morning. Yes. So one of the things we needed to do is to have tea. And mandazi. And mandazi. Right. So I remember, but he can continue with the story, what they actually did. And his story has actually also very much inspired me and many other people that actually hear you. And maybe Thuk, you can chip in and tell us when we gave you that chance, for example, at the university to sell mandazi and tea. Right. You did not. You tell us. I think it comes powerfully.
Thank you. He gave us the idea that we need to sell tea. Okay. And we were being housed 3 boys in one room, Kamabati house, and we didn't have capital. We didn't have money. But what we did, we so believed in that idea, and we went to where we used to buy sukuma wiki. Right. And we just shared with that. She was an elderly lady. Yes. We used to call her Shosh. And then we told her, there's this graduation that is coming up. Right. And we've been requested to do tea, and we don't know what to do. But she listened to us, and, you know, she felt us. Out of passion. She resonated with it. And she said, now, what I'm going to do, I have some milk. Okay. I can order some milk from her shags. Right. And the milk would come. And she actually brought a 20-liter jerrycan full of milk. Wow. She told us one thing. Ile mtungi tu moja ya kawaida. Yes. Right. She said in Kikuyu, if you want to run away with my money, it's fine. It's okay. Yes. But I can't believe you guys. Okay. So when we appeared at the university with the 20-liter jerrycan of milk, he got scared. he didn't believe it.
Right.
So because he couldn't imagine where we got milk. He, he just mentioned.
Because he knew amuna kakitu.
Yeah. So he just mentioned, because he talks a lot his heart when he wants to do something.
Right.
Yeah, I picked it up. I went, digested it, and we figured it out.
Okay.
According to him, I think the tea business, because it was rainy, it was chilly in the morning, I think made them a lot of money.
Okay.
And this other stuff like sodas and all that.
Because I'm sure you were the only, first of all, gentleman selling tea there.
Absolutely.
And mandazi.
And everybody was crowding there.
Every person came to a stand.
Yeah. And that didn't, you know, the fact that we didn't limit us. We just knew we have to do this.
Yes.
How can we do it? How can we source?
Right.
And we started talking to people,
and
there were people there ready to listen to us and risk with our chance.
Here we are, rather having that conversation. Beatrice, for you, that's clearly an amazing story. Tell me, hata siwezi fikiria kuuza mandazi. Do you know, mimi kutengeneza mandazi, let alone sell. Maybe zikiletwa hapa, I can convince you to buy.
Yeah.
Beatrice, I don't know, do you have a similar story where you can say, Mbuvi, there's one time, because these are the kind of stories that people will be like, "Hi, ati mama siku moja ama huyu jamaa siku moja alikuwa anauza mandazi." Do you have something that you can say, you know what, me Mbuvi, there's a time I sold spaghetti to, you know, make this money for whatever?
I think I'll talk about money and finance.
Right.
And that's when we were talking about capital. And what I really feel is that there's so many people, Mbuvi, willing to partner with you.
Okay.
So long as you have ideas, so long as you have good ideas, as long as you're confident, and then you're honest.
Yeah.
So as long as you've got the zeal, you really, okay, for example, I win a tender in a government institution.
Wow.
Whereby maybe I'm supposed to supply machines, maybe laptops, maybe computers, and other accessories, and I don't have the money.
So you're a tender.
But I have the, yes. But the right word to use is tenderers.
Tenderers. Okay.
Yeah, when you Google
tenderpreneur.
But when you Google tenderpreneur, it's got a different meaning. So
okay.
Here I am.
All right.
I have won the tender. I have the job, the LPO, the job is mine.
Right.
And my friend here has the money. So we just partner.
Right.
He chips in. I get the machines. Epic comes in. We import.
All right.
And then we share, we split the profits.
All right.
And we are good to go.
We have a Charles from Nairobi. Good morning, Charles. How are you doing, sir? Hello, Charles.
Hello.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
What is your question or comment?
Yeah, okay, I wanted to ask, yeah, we have people who are interested in doing business.
Right.
But most likely they could be having that big idea. And people always say of starting small.
Yes.
I wanted to know, is there a way that one can be helped when he has that big idea?
Right.
Yeah, beyond what people normally perceive
as
a small idea. So, is there a way that one can be linked to angel investors in this country who can fund your idea?
Yes.
Based on the potential you have, rather than how you can be able to penetrate the market by starting small.
Thank you very much, Charles.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so Charles has a valid question, which we shall answer in a minute. But I think you are actually in the process of answering, you know, that question, because if you have that idea, because he says, I have a big idea. Maybe his idea is to buy planes and open a charter at Wilson Airport, and he's wondering, sasa, idea niko nayo, for sure.
Yeah.
Lakini kama hata siwezi nunua baiskeli, how do I think about buying a plane?
Why I brought the story of how we began, is to help people also appreciate that when you see a very serious business person today, very successful, they have a story of where they began.
True.
And therefore, a lot of young people, I think, have got this notion that you can just come up and just become very successful. So we also need to dispel that notion. And why we brought this story of how we began and how we began doing it is that everybody has that story. So my urge is, at whatever level you are, begin there. At the level of the university where we needed to do a small business, we engaged. We even went further, because I remember in the university, every hostel, down there's what we call a tuck shop. I used to supply eggs. to all the tuck shops.
So chances are zile eggs nimekula KU and supply.
No, mostly it was at the University of Nairobi.
Okay.
And I remember my cousin used to come from all the way from JKWAT.
Okay.
Their dad used to have a pickup. So he would pick me early in the morning at around 5.
Right.
We go to Wangige, buy the eggs, come and put them somewhere at Lower State House hostel, and we had someone to distribute them.
Right.
And by 8 o'clock, I used to be in the lecture hall, just like with everybody else.
Right.
So the point is, you can begin at whatever level. And if you see a successful business person today, it means they began somewhere.
Right.
And I think for the young people wanting to begin business, they need to understand that success is a process that happens, and it's not something that happens suddenly.
Okay.
So I think that's a point that we need to preach to people.
Yeah.
That people need to begin somewhere.
There's a process.
Yes. And some business you're going to do, they're not going to succeed.
Yeah.
And it's in that process you also learn.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Jackson from Nairobi, how are you doing? Jackson, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm quite fine. How are you doing?
Fine.
You sound so energetic. Umekunywa kahawa ya kutosha leo.
Yeah.
All right. What is your question or comment?
I'm in the security industry.
Okay.
And as much I'm concerned, there is a lot of business that can be done, but according to the market,
right,
things are not that really in place.
Right.
And I really need to come up with the business.
Right.
So how can the gentleman advise me? Because I have no control, but I really see a passion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Jackson. And probably Beatrice, that one, I'll actually direct to the both of you, starting with you, Harrison, because you obviously diversified. You did not just stick to one thing, and I think that is what he's asking in terms of he's in the security business. I think he owns a security company, and he's currently saying business haikai vizuri sana, sijui ni venye hakuna wezi maybe. So, which is a good thing. I'd rather we have that problem. Yeah. But so how does he diversify maybe and see what his business can also do as he's running it?
Personally, I would want to tell us more about, like, even after we did that business, the many other businesses that he has done to reach where he is.
Apart from just selling generators and fixing.
Yes, because he has even supplied the fruits at the airport. He has done all these things, and some of them, in fact, I remember we have also done, what do you call it, cabbages.
Right.
From Karatina.
Mukauza kwa airport?
No, to Mokoyo market in Moranga.
Okay. All right.
And I think we didn't even make any money. So it is that aspect of trying and trying until you refine what you're supposed to do.
So what is he saying? So clearly you did a lot. Selling fruits, cabbages. Ulikuwa unatengeneza mandazi.
Yes.
First of all, do you know how to make mandazi? Ama ulitengenezewa na mtu?
I do. Actually, what I did, I saw an opportunity. The village I come from,
yes,
we used to have people from a neighboring village,
right,
selling small mandazis. And I knew the market very well. I knew there is need for that because that's what people would afford, 5 shillings and all that. And personally, I didn't know how to do it. But I looked at who can I partner with. A friend of mine who was doing a certain course in a neighboring college,
right,
was a student of food and beverage, and I knew that was a skill.
So you tapped his skill.
Yes. Then I didn't have resources. I didn't have resources. So, and I also didn't have equipment. But in that institution, there was a full-fledged kitchen that was not utilized over the weekend because it was.
You were lucky, by the way. That was like, how do you have someone with the skills, a kitchen, then you just come with the idea?
Then thank you. And then I figured out these people would not deny us the usage of the kitchen.
Right.
Again, it's on a weekend. Then I figured out they didn't have the ingredients, the flour, the yeast, and every other thing. So I figured out my mom used to run a shop in the village.
Right.
And she had all the ingredients. So I sat down. No. I had to seek for her permission.
Okay.
I shared with this idea, I want to do this. There's this friend of mine and we have this kitchen. Could you just lend me these ingredients?
And I'll pay you back.
And I'll pay you back.
Okay.
So at night, around midnight,
yes,
we were busy preparing and he would do the dough and everything. And then I would be turning around. He showed me how to turn around and cook and do the deep frying. And we packed. That's where he came in to do the labels.
Just a second, because we also have another call on the line. Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing, James?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
All right, what is your question or comment?
My question is,
yeah,
I'm much concerned about so many young people around in Nairobi and even in up country.
Yes.
So my take is,
yes,
how should these young people who are in Nairobi and up country be supported to start those small initiatives? Because
right,
we are finding that there is a problem even in the youth funds.
Yes.
There's a lot of corruption which is happening. And yet people are being told, you guys go to school, learn, get jobs.
Okay.
And those jobs are not there.
All right.
So how can those guys be supported?
Thanks, James.
Yes.
All right. Gilbert from Namanga, good morning. Gilbert, habari yako?
Yes.
How are you doing, sir?
Sana.
So what is your question or comment?
My question.
Yes.
Nashukuru kwa sababu ya hiyo conversation mko nayo ya business.
Karibu sana.
Na nilikuwa tu na swali. Na huyo jamaa anasema ana connect watu kutoka outside the country.
Yes.
Kwa mfano mtu akitaka labda anaweza mpata wapi? Kuna zile vitu tunahitaji kutoka nje lakini unakuta roko huwezi pata kwa rahisi na ni very expensive.
Kama nini hiyo unataka?
Kama mimi kuna vitu nataka hizi za playground ya watoto, nataka kuanza hiyo biashara lakini ukiuliza ile market ya hapa ni very expensive. Huwezi hata lakini China ukigugu unakuta ni very cheap.
All right, thank you very much, Gilbert.
Thank you.
All right. So before you continue with that story for Mandazi, the question that James was asking earlier on was how does he, you know, get youth to actually notice these things that, you know, are around. So we'll be answering that in a minute. Good morning, Maina. All right, tumepoteza Maina kidogo. So James, real quick, how does he, you know, tell people, the youth, these opportunities are there? For example, he's mentioning the youth fund, which again is corrupt according to him. How do they know these things that are around them?
It's basically information. All these opportunities, the way you pass them across is passing that information to them.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think we are in a society where we need to embrace the culture of going for information.
Okay. So we need to do research.
We need to have and embrace that culture of wanting to know what happens with the Chamber of Commerce, for example, what opportunities are there with the government for the youth and women and persons with disability.
Right.
It comes in that way. There is no any other way. We have to go for information and of course consult those sources of information.
And while at it, do what you can do with what you have.
All right. And you know,
like for example, if you can offer a service, for example, his example, he wanted to get into generators business, but he realized he didn't have the capital. So what he did, he started to service. No, Mandazi was much earlier. So, but I'm saying he started servicing generators.
Right.
It's in servicing generators that he has built the capital now to start what he's currently doing.
Okay.
And to answer the other person's call of where we can be found, is that we are found at College House.
Don't worry. We'll let them know where to find you. But your conversation inaendelea. So we take a short break. Remember, the numbers are still on your screen. You can text us at 21222 as well. Find us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook at K24 TV. Hayo maswali yote tunajibu tukirudi.